There's Susan B. Honey. I've just been sitting here thinking, what am I going to do a video on? I have. Imagine having your house confiscated. The house that you worked for, paid off, lived in all your life, and then you have the government or some other agency coming in and confiscating your house. Well, Gina, there's no such thing. Hello, Apple Brooks, honey. No. Oh, there is a such thing. There is a such thing. Just look at this. Lukashenko signs the law allowing the confiscation of properties. Their authoritative dictator, their ruler, right there, has signed a law that allows the confiscation of property from citizens and companies for unfriendly what? Hello there, Mickey Honey. Unfriendly what? Well, I'd like to know what the unfriendly what is. Oh, the unfriendly actions against Belarus. And this is the location of Belarus right there. Right there. Now, there was something else that, oh my gosh. Look, the Russian upper house approves a bill to confiscate the assets of Parliament, a bill that would allow authorities to confiscate the money and valuables and stuff. Hello there, Frank. We got the United Nations. United Nations. Why am I on the confiscation of private property? Well, oh, wow. Looks like we got mainly moderators in here commenting. Isn't that strange? That's really strange. We have mainly moderators in here. Wow, and hardly any people commenting. I wanted to look at these selected documents. I don't even know what they're going to say. I have no idea. I can't even do a search on them. No, I'm not going to look through 30 pages to where they would confiscate your property. Gina, that doesn't happen. Really? Oh, it's happened. It happens. Property confiscation. Compensate. I can't even get the words out. Property confiscation. Confiscation. And well, we know that this happens. The aspect of property law in communist and post-communist, a civil code defines the single condition under which a servitude. But we already went past the servitudes. You know that? That it permits a landowner to acquire the right to affirmatively use another person's land. Well, he supported all of that too. Hello. Hello. Would they, would you ever have your house confiscated here in the United States? Would you? Property confiscation and, let me see this. And FEMA, let me see, FEMA. Well, they'll be the lead agency. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why that's got my mind this evening. the property confiscation. You'll be happy. You'll own nothing, and you'll be happy, right? Americans. Yeah. If you're just tuning in, do you think that could happen here? What on earth? Do you think it could? Your property could be confiscated? It wouldn't be very nice. I don't even know what this is. What is that? English 1100? Dual enrollment? 50 years ago, what there would have expected the Marxism and developed to become more Marxist. What is this? Rich through capitalism? Marxism and capitalism? Oh, wow. Look how they wrote this. Marxism and capitalism. Let's see, you all, if we can tie the two together. Gina, you don't want to. I really don't want to. Marxism and capitalism and the confiscation of your property rights. Yeah. Heaven help us if we've suffered enough. Serfdom. When some people came to the United States, they were serfs, serfdoms, serfs and serfdoms. You know what I mean? Oh my gosh. Yeah. I don't know. I really don't know. We've suffered a lot. I really would hope that the United States would not confiscate property, citizens' property. You think they would? I don't know. I really don't know if they would or not. Russia understands that they would do that. Yeah, they would do it. They will confiscate your property in Russia. They passed the law to do it. Yeah. If your social credit score is bad, United States social credit score, I think it's already being done. I really do. Look at this. How is the United States credit score different? We want to know, I want the social credit score. Social credit score, not these, not your credit card, not any of that, you all. No, yeah. You can't own property under communism, Marxism. Marxism does away with private property. We already talked about this last week. We did. Private property. Look, some things. Yet it's here. The new regime has abolished private property in the means of production, thereby, according to Marx, inaugurating a classless society. Will we be a classless society? We could be a classless society. I don't know why they do that. Yeah, this is, you ever notice there's so much details on Marxism? There's so much information. Okay, the problem, like they're going to redistribute. The problem is how to have a redistributive system. Well, what do they mean? In democratic mixed economies, we have some redistribution and some private property and some state capitalism all mixed together. The social theory, we don't want to talk about it. We don't. If it is deemed you live on too much property, you will be made to share. Probably, I know that they have the right to take your property if they want. Like when I grew up, I lived across the street from the elementary schools in Charlestown, and there were really older neighborhoods there. And they forced those people out of the older neighborhoods so that they could rebuild the area. They do go around and do that. Yeah, they force you out. What? Could you have it? The elimination of private property. That it's terrible if you have 3 properties. It should only be for your family. Yeah. Well, we live in a day and age when you have multi-families living in one house. You do. You have a lot of families living in one single house because it's so expensive for people to afford to live out on their own with the rents and all the cost of electric, water, gas, all of it. They have to go back home. They move back home with their parents, even with their families. Multi-family living. That's how it is in Germany. When we was in Berlin, Germany, when you got married, you stayed in your parents' house for I don't know how long it was before you were to go out and get your own house. You had to live with your parents. Multi-families, which is, yeah. If there's a change of government leadership, we may have a chance. Yeah. That's right. I don't. I'm gonna quit talking about that, you all. I really am I'm like so exhausted today. My brain is exhausted, is what it is. Multi-generational, that's how to put it, Susan. Multi-generational housing. And you probably see more of it. Yeah. Hello. It's a downer. Al, what's a downer? The confiscation of private property. Well, I would not, I honestly would not be surprised to see it. I would not be surprised to see it in my lifetime or my children's lifetime. I wouldn't be surprised whatsoever. And you would have to have a really good social credit score in order to hold your own property. Really, you would. They may say, well, I'm sorry, your credit score is not that good and we need to take your property. Or they could allow, if you are invaded, you can have the invading force come in and take your home. And you're forced out of your home with the clothes on your back, like it is in some countries. That's what happens. You've seen the pictures of it. They had to leave their homes when the invading force came in. They lost it all. Just like that. The Fourth Amendment to the Constitution. They could do away with the Constitution. People have been talking about doing away with the Constitution, even Trump. We need to rewrite the Constitution, do away with the Constitution. He said it too. And if that's gone, now listen to this. If you do away with that, and remember that's what Marxism, one of the tenets was, to get rid of nations. There is no nations. It's all just one great big world. Because if you have your own constitution, your own rules and regulations for your own country, then you're kind of by yourself. You get to decide. But under Marxism and communism and stuff, no, the state, the all supreme entity decides. And if communism were to take hold, that would be one of the things. Abolish all governments. Yeah, and who would rule it? The few. The few would rule it. And when I say the few, I mean the WEF backwards. That's what I call them now, the few. The few would be in charge of the world. They would, the few. And it really is a few compared to the majority of the population on Earth. So what is the title of this? Imagine your property gets confiscated. You lose it because maybe you're a dissenter. You're a dissenter against the government. You're a dissenter. You're not a good citizen. And they confiscate your property. They do it. They already do it. If you get in trouble with the law, if you do drugs or stuff like that, they will come in and they will confiscate every single bit of your property, your houses, your cars. They already do stuff like that. Can you imagine just being a citizen and you having you have a difference of an opinion, and you speak and you thought, well, I have freedom of speech, and you speak out and they come and get you, and they just confiscate everything. Yeah. No questions asked. None asked at all. Can you stop calling the cops every time you have a cookout? Who has a cookout? You are the worst. We got some trolls in here. Come on, trolls. Let's bring in the trolls. Bring in the trolls, because you're going to help Gina Honey's analytic numbers. You're going to help this channel with your comments like that. Yes, you are. You are. The trolls have come in again. I think we do need to talk about it. We need to talk about how the country is changing and how it's been changing. That's right. And how your freedom of speech is really not too freedom of speech anymore, really. I mean, you are allowed freedom of speech, but it better be what they want you to speak about. It better not be what they don't want you to speak about. That's, yeah. Let me see this one. Yeah, hello there in Brazil. That's right, you all. Enjoy your life now. Enjoy your freedom now, because what if we get a dictator in the United States? What if we do? What if we get an all-supreme leader in the United States? You remember these old maps? It is a long, long, long time ago. There was this old vision, not too long ago, where there would be 10 governors in the United States of America. It would be divided into 10 sections. Now, like FEMA, we have 4 sections. We have 4 FEMA regions, which is something a little bit like that. But then they got heads over the FEMA regions too. We have we have a dictator. Oh no. Yeah. Not really free speech. There's some people get free speech and some people don't. Really, they do. And it's not even across the board. But would you really like to have everybody to have free speech, especially if it was really horrible, 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 horrible things? That's where it gets kind of dangerous. I mean, if you look at some videos that are allowed on YouTube and stuff, you're thinking, how on earth is that allowed? And then others aren't. Really? How is that allowed and others aren't? Because some of the things that are allowed are absolutely unspeakable. I can't even speak of it. That's how bad they are. And then some things you can't speak about it, but they are, suitable. But some things are very, very, very unsuitable. And it's allowed. Yeah, that's right. Oh, come on now. We gotta get some more. We gotta have the trolls come in here and add to this. Imagine your house gets confiscated. They do it to the criminals. They'll just confiscate it, no questions asked, and you don't get it back. You do not get it back. They confiscate all your stuff. If they come to your house, they can confiscate anything they want if they have the right stuff. Oh, look. We got trolls on here. Isn't that lovely? Lots and lots of trolls. They're coming. Yeah. When you get your trolls coming on your channel, you know that that's your sign to shut your mouth. That's what it is. You need to be quiet and do not be speaking about things that aren't really happening. Really? They're not really happening. Well, it's happening in Belarus. It is. If you're considered an enemy of the state, and if you look throughout history, what is even worse things happen to people who are considered enemies of the state. Even worse things. It costs you your life. It's like a big wake-up call. And with Marxism, with the Communist Manifesto, the only history is the present history. That's it. All other history is erased. And it does not apply. It's just like the mud flood of the 1800s. It's a big mud flood. And then you have the burning of the books. You have the fires. You have buildings that were supposedly got demolished during like, I don't know, they burnt down. And then you look at the buildings, it looked like they got blown up. There's rubble all over the place. But yet they rebuild these buildings in 2 years, these masterpieces within 2 years. Back in the 1800s, how can you do that? You can't. There's history that's hidden, but not really too hidden. It's like there's a reset coming, a massive reset coming. They want to get it right this time. They do. Get it right. Get the people under their thumbs. Yeah, something like that. The Chicago fire. Yeah, the Great Chicago fire. That's the perfect example. A perfect example of it. Yeah. Oh, you all got to be a little nice. You really do. Gina, you don't have much to talk about? No, I don't. I don't have much to talk about at all. Just sitting here, just chilling. But yeah, property getting confiscated in Belarus. If they deem that you are not the good citizen, they're going to come and get your property. And could it happen in the United States? Could. It could happen in the United States. And what about ownership of cars? There's going to be some cars that are going to be banned. You ain't even going to get to be able to insure them after a certain, before 2030. You won't even be able to insure your cars if they're a certain type, all of that. The trolls are bored. They're bored just like us. Hello, Susan Donahue, honey. Yeah, the trolls are bored. We're bored. We're all bored. We're not too bored, you all. We're not. I'm going to get off of here. I am. Since I really don't have much to say, I just want to see if the trolls would come on, is what I wanted to see. Yeah. I'm going to go. There's plenty of videos that have been throughout the week, and I would encourage you to go look at them on the YouTube, because there's some serious conversations that we had, very, very serious, and that are applicable to the world that we're living in today, especially here in the United States and all over the world. There are. So I am going to go, you all. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed. If you have subscribed, you might want to check your subscription and hit that join button. Please give this video a thumbs up on your way out, and try to keep a positive attitude. Keep a positive attitude. Gina, you got a positive attitude? I really do have a positive attitude, but you don't want your mind dwelling too much on what truly is occurring behind the scenes in the world. You really don't, because the few have great plans for the majority. The few have great plans for the majority. Gina, who are the few? The few are the WEF backward. So we call them the few. Have plans for the majority, which is the citizens on the earth. So I'm going to go, and with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello. From my heart to yours, love you. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Good night. Thank you, moderators. Thank you, trolls, for coming in here. But once you find out that you make the analytics go up through the comment, you'll get bored and you say, I'm not going to make the channel grow. I'm going to stay out, which is a kind of a bit of a bummer.